Today, I want to invite you into a deeper understanding, not just with your mind, but with your heart, of something truly profound. You see, every experience you're going through right now, especially the difficult ones, might not be chaos, it might be alignment. What if what you're calling a breakdown is actually a divine recalibration? We live in a universe governed by energy, intention, and the intelligence of something greater than us. Call it God, Source, divine consciousness. And when that intelligence is preparing you to receive a blessing, it's not always smooth or obvious. In fact, it often looks like resistance, isolation, or being pushed into the unknown. But that's where transformation begins. Today, I want to show you 5 powerful signs that you're not being punished or forgotten. You're actually being prepared. God isn't ignoring you, and when you align your thoughts, emotions, and energy with this higher purpose, you become a magnet for blessings you once thought were impossible. Let's go beyond the surface. Let's break the habit of being our old selves. Because if you're feeling the stir, if you've been sensing a shift, then chances are your blessing is closer than you think. You're not just going through, and it's by divine design. When God is preparing you to receive a blessing, one of the first signs is a divine disconnection, a pulling away from people, places, or environments that once felt like home. You may not understand it at first. Friends you've known for years suddenly feel distant. Opportunities that used to excite you now feel empty. You might even feel like you're drifting, isolated, or misunderstood. But what's really happening is a spiritual separation designed to make space for something new. You see, elevation often requires separation. The old energy cannot coexist with the frequency of your next season. God is not punishing you, He's repositioning you. And while your logical mind may resist, your soul senses that this is necessary. You're being unplugged from what no longer aligns with the blessing that's coming. It can be painful, even lonely, but it's purposeful. The higher the calling, the smaller the circle. When everything around you starts to shift, it's not chaos, it's alignment. This detachment is how God prepares your heart to receive without distraction. Something meant for the next version of you. There comes a moment when everything in your life looks fine on the outside, yet something deep within begins to stir. It's a quiet but persistent restlessness, a knowing that you can't stay where you are, even if nothing external seems wrong. This inner tension isn't anxiety, it's divine agitation. It's your spirit recognizing that the space you're in is too small for the future God is preparing. You might wake up feeling dissatisfied with routines that once brought comfort. Conversations feel shallow. Your work feels misaligned. And your soul starts to crave more depth, more truth, more purpose. but gold differs even. But the feeling won't leave. It grows louder the longer you ignore it. That's because it's not meant to fade. It's meant to guide. This internal shift is preparation. Before your external world can change, your internal world has to expand to hold the weight of the blessing that's coming. When doors begin to close, despite your best efforts, it can feel like everything is working against you. You've been showing up, doing the right things, following the path you thought was meant for you, and yet opportunities fall through, relationships end, plans unravel. This isn't failure, it's divine redirection. Closed doors are one of the most misunderstood signs that God is at work. What looks like rejection is often protection. What feels like a setback is actually a setup for something far greater than you imagined. Sometimes we get so attached to our own timeline or vision that we miss the subtle cues that something better is ahead. God, in His wisdom, doesn't just open the right doors. He lovingly closes the wrong ones, even when we don't agree. The discomfort you feel isn't because you're off track. It's because you're being kept from settling for less than what's destined. Each door that closes removes distraction, misalignment, or delay that could have interfered with the blessing prepared for you. Trust that these closures are not punishment, they are preparation. God isn't just opening a door, He's building the right hallway to walk you into something you never knew you needed. There comes a point in your journey where emotions you thought were buried begin to surface. Old wounds, painful memories, and unhealed parts of your past rise up, not to break you, but to free you. This emotional release can be confusing. There are moments when God calls you to walk forward without a map, to trust in ways that challenge your logic and defy your comfort. You may find yourself in situations where answers don't come, clarity feels distant, and all you have is a quiet prompting to keep going. This is not a mistake. It's intentional. God often withholds the full picture so you learn to rely on faith, not control. In these seasons, you're being trained to trust the unseen, to lean into a deeper relationship with the divine rather than depending on external confirmation. It can feel like walking in the dark, but your steps are still guided. The lack of visible evidence is not the absence of God's hand. It's the space where your faith is being stretched and strengthened. You begin to learn that certainty is not a prerequisite for obedience. When God is preparing you to receive a blessing, He first prepares your trust. Because the blessing requires a version of you that can walk boldly without needing constant reassurance. Trusting without answers sharpens your discernment, deepens your resilience, and roots your identity in something eternal rather than circumstantial. This inner transformation becomes the foundation for everything that follows.